increase your market share. So what kind of decision, even on let's say, I want to give you a typical example. Let's say a common example. Right now there is a slump in the hotels. This is a new example I'm telling you. The marketing manager here in the hotels, he has to have a decision about his inventory across various properties in India itself. So he has to connect to his backend system, and he has to know what kind of investment he's got, what kind of campaigns he's running, is for selling his hotel rooms. And today he has to connect from the backend, and he has to do it. Also, what his competitors are announcing, so that he may come in an external feed. So if you want to pull in all this information and make a decision, so you need robust tools like Cognos. So that is when you can have a report, immediate report, and take a decision. And also your planning itself, you want to reduce these budgets also changes. So these tools are very much useful in taking right time decision at the right time. Because if you get something and your data, you collect a report and it comes after some time, and if it is not latest at that point of time, then it can basically it's of no use. Because you have to know one thing in this industry, most of the industry players, let's say everyone has come with their own coining, IBM tells on demand, Microsoft is doing business at your fingertips, and even HP has got its own thing, zero latency enterprises. But what do you mean? What's the importance? This is that the importance of data, means the update data we have. And let's also talk about planning tools. See, in these times, the other one is market consistency believes that you give the latest kind of projections. So whether it's a good or bad, but you have to be consistent. What we have seen over the few years, and what we have been discussing with many CFOs is, see, they are unable to project clearly upfront after the second 2 quarters. So that's why planning tools Cognos helps you make timely decisions. So whenever there's a market change or anything, you have to be updated on that. So also with powerful mobile push, a lot of decision makers today will have to have access to your thing whenever they are on the move. So we have even a mobile push on the Cognos tools. So that's very important. And then we also work with predictive analysis. That is when you already have your data. So what do you make of this data, and what kind of analytics it can throw to see it how it's going to go through. So these are some of the cases which we do and we have done. So in India, in fact, we have very good client list. In fact, we have worked. In fact, we have created one of the largest e-commerce portal for Indian Railways, that is online reservation site. We have worked with premier clients like Airtel, that is with IBM again. We have worked with Vodafone. We have worked with Godrej. We have worked with ING. So these are some of our clients. In the US, we have worked with several Fortune 1000 clients. So we also now, we are a go-to-market partner with IBM. Wherever IBM goes, we are trying to go with them and work with them. Also, work on their own tools to see and what can be better to the market. So we take the market news to the IBM folks to see how we can fine-tune the products. So this has really helped, and I personally have used most of these tools, and I can tell you that it could be a good value for investment. So this kind of even Gartner still is the best time to invest on BI systems to make use of this time. And I hope you people will see some of the demos of the latest tools which we have, and we could I hope that we could give you value for the time you have spent here. So saying these few words, I would like to invite yeah, I just want to thank you once again.
So I'd like to call upon Mr. Subramaniam, Country Manager, Information Management Software, IBM India. He would give us an introduction to performance management and will tell us how it is and what is it.
I'm early in the morning to this venue because the traffic on this side of the town is horrendous, especially with the metro construction and so on, depending on where you're coming from. But I really appreciate the fact that you've taken time to come here, and I hope today's session will be useful and we have the opportunity to interact again later on in your own organizations. If I were to go back to what drove IBM's acquisition of Cognos. It's really one specific area, that is the ability to drive information as a strategic asset. And in the words of our business unit founder, Ambush Goel, who was here in India a couple of 3 weeks back, his view was most companies like you have invested in transactional automation systems, application systems to automate some aspect of your organization, maybe starting with financial reporting and consolidation, moving on to manufacturing systems, moving on to supply chain systems and so on, or banking, core banking application systems or core insurance application systems. Most of you have done that. And that's been the investment journey that you've embarked on for the last 10 to 15 years. And that's been the primary focus of most organizations. But what is also evident is, in most of the organizations, the business priorities keep changing year on year, depending on the market conditions that you are facing. And at some point in time, the business owners or the business decision makers lose trust or faith in the capabilities of operation systems meeting their requirements. Give you a simple example. An IBM, we deployed an ERP BAN about 12 years back and all that. Within 3 years of deployment, the operational managers, people like me and others, felt that the BAN information requirements could not meet my business objectives, and therefore I have to find my own ways of managing my particular business.